we just got a new kind of tracer, impact effect, and laser here in Modern Warfare 2. This coming in the Tracer Pack Golden Blossom bundle. Serenity awaits with 3 elegant tracer blueprints with effects and laser effects. I'm glad this comes with 3 different blueprints. It's been a while since we've had a tracer bundle do that. The first one being for the TAC-M, which isn't my most favorite weapon. Hopefully these look a little bit better with camos because the design on the blueprints themselves are a little bit basic. This one's tuned for canted laser aiming, sound suppression, and aim down sight speed. So it's got orange/cherry blossom tracer impacts. Then the death effect is golden blossom. Can't wait to see what that looks like. As always, we'll test out all the effects and we'll test them out in the different modes. Then we've got the MCPR 300. This is a pretty decent sniper, so I'm glad we got some tracers for this. This is the first tracer blueprint for this weapon, and that could be said about every weapon in this bundle. No other versions of these weapons have tracers, so I love to see they're adding some new tracer weapons into the pool. This is tuned for canted laser aiming, aim down sight speed, and sprint to fire speed. Once again, has the same tracers. Then we got one for the X13 auto, and I really like using this in DMZ, so I'm super glad to be getting tracers for this. Once again, the design for all these weapons kind of basic. Hopefully they look kind of cool with camos on them. This one's tuned for magazine ammo capacity, sound suppression, and recoil control. Once again, got the different effects on it. Then we've got a weapon sticker, which is a butterfly, which is kind of cool. And then we've got a pretty basic loading screen. It looks like they just randomly slapped this loading screen in here because this has nothing to do with cherry blossoms. The rest of this is all cherry blossom themed. Then we get this loading screen called COD Heroes, which is just a bunch of different operators. So to start off, let's test out these blueprints in game, starting off with the TAC-M. And it looks okay. Really, the only thing that's going to save these is if you get to see those flowers with mastery camos. If you don't get to see those, then it's going to be pretty basic. I mean, it looks clean. It just doesn't look as cool as the blueprints we've seen in the past with other blueprints that come with tracers. Then we've got the MCPR 300. Once again, all these blueprints share a very similar design here. Hopefully we get to see all those flowers and stuff once we start putting on camos. Now let's test out the tracers. So we shoot up in the air. It looks a lot big, just normal tracers. You can't tell too much when you're shooting it farther away. Now let's see what the impact effects look like. And okay, that's pretty sick. There's a bunch of petals that fly off, and it looks like there's something that's popping off. Some things they don't stick on certain textures. So yes, wherever you shoot, you're gonna see a little flower there. So we could probably actually draw something if we wanted to. Yeah, there we go. This sniper is gonna have the same thing. However, the tracer should just be bigger, because it seems to affect with the size of the caliber. Yeah, there's a lot more petals that fly off. Oh, wow. You can really see it when you shoot close range. Bunch of petals fly off all over the place. And let's see if the petal's any bigger when we shoot the ground with this. So we shoot this one, quickly flip over, and then we shoot this one. Yeah, they're roughly about the same size. Oh, we've also got the custom laser effect. Okay, that's probably my favorite part of this so far. That laser sight is pretty sick, and you're actually going to be able to use this on other weapons that have this laser sight. So we'll have to see what this is later, that way we can see what other weapons we can put it on. I think the TAC-M is going to have the exact same laser. Yeah, bro, that's pretty fancy. It's just a moving flower. This might be my favorite laser sight we've got so far. Oh, and it stays when ADS too. That's pretty sick. Wait a minute, the laser even has petals coming off of it. It's got an animation, so not only is it moving around, bro, I'm not even shooting. That's not even the effect. It's got little petals that fall off of it. Let's see if this one has the exact same little petal effect. Yeah. All right, that's kind of sick. I like that. Next, we got the X13 auto, and this is by far the weapon I'm going to use the most out of this bundle. I use this all the time in DMZ. The design, pretty much the exact same, but now let's test out the tracer fire. However, this one's full auto, so we should be able to see it better. Yeah, tons of different petals there. This one, we'd actually be able to draw something with. We could probably make quick little smiley face. There we go. Quick little rocket right there if we wanted to make a rocket. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have the laser sight. We might be able to put the laser sight on it, but yeah, the laser sight doesn't come on this one, unfortunately. Here's what the laser sight and tracers look like in a darker environment. The laser looks about the same. It's just a little bit more noticeable. Here's the tracer, and you can really see the pink on these tracers a lot more when you're in a darker environment. It's a lot more noticeable. We now have Akimbo full auto pistols with 50 round mags. Let's spam these tracers and see how ridiculous it gets. Yeah. Oh, this is pure chaos. Now, once again, in the dark, and just flowers and petals all over the place. All three of these weapons also come with death effects, but we'll have to wait till we load into MP to test those. So here's the mastery camos on these blueprints. Normally, I'd load them into game, but as you can see here on the TAC-M, nothing too special, and I didn't want to waste a bunch of time and pad out this video, so we're just doing it quickly in the menu. With the MCPR, you can actually see the petals here, and you can't really tell on the gold and the platinum camo. The polyatomic, you can tell a little bit, but Orion's the one that you can actually make a pretty big difference here. So Orion on these weapons, on the MCPR at least, you can see a little bit, but even being able to see that, it's not too special. Moving on to the X13 auto, and it does get a tiny bit better. Once again, the gold, you can't see anything. Platinum, you can't see anything. Polyatomic, you can see some of the darker spots here. Then with Orion is where it's mostly notable. Once again, this isn't the craziest thing. It's not something I would be, you know, I wouldn't buy this blueprint for the way it looks. If you're buying this, you're buying it for the tracers that come on it. Wow, even solid camos don't look good on the TAC M. Usually when mastery camos don't look good, the solid camos do, but this just kind of removes everything. The solid camos do, however, look pretty good on the other blueprints that come in this bundle. You do get to see all the little flowers on them. Yeah, that's pretty sick. Then this one I was just personally curious about. This is the Boeing Blossoms Mastery event camo on these weapons, and you can still see the petals, but yeah, I'm not sure I'd run it like this. Now let's test out the special effects that happen when you take out enemies using these weapons. So first we're going to test it at a farther range. So it looks like he exploded into gold dust and then a bunch of petals. Now let's test it out up close and personal. And yeah, it's just a gold explosion with a bunch of gold leaves. And finally, here's what it looks like in a darker environment. Dude, it looks like he has gold blood. That's kind of sick. Now for one of the most important tests, let's see what these weapons look like when we start removing all of the attachments. The TAC M pretty much looks the exact same. And since this doesn't have an ammo type, if you remove all the attachments, you still get to keep the tracers. The only thing that's going to remove the tracers on these weapons is if you put on a custom ammo type. You can see here, put on ammo piercing, got rid of it. So as long as you don't put an ammo type on, nothing you do is going to get rid of the tracer fire. It did get rid of the laser. You do have to keep the laser that comes on it, which is going to be the Canted Verbo .7. However, if you put this laser on other weapons, it's also going to have those special effects. So let's see what happens when we start removing all the attachments on the sniper here. Load it back in. Still looks pretty good, actually. And once again, it is going to keep all those tracer effects on it since we didn't change the ammo type. Now for the pistol here. So this is what it looks like to begin with. This is going to look really different when we take off the attachment. So yeah, here's the blueprint when you take off all the attachments. It looks pretty much like looks like a normal X13 auto. However, it is going to keep those tracer fires on it at least. The only thing that's going to remove it, once again, is changing that ammo type. And here you can see we were able to put the Cherry Blossom Lazer on the ISO Hemlock from the Shredder bundle. So you're able to put this on any weapon that supports that laser sight. Oh, turn to petals. All right, now it's time to test out the attachments on these weapons here in a real MP game. And dude, I hate the iron sights. I can't use this sight on snipers. I'm not a huge fan of the TAC M, but dude, I do not like this laser sight. I know some people really enjoy this hip fire view, but even since the game's launch, I've never been able to properly use this. It's probably just a skill issue on my end, but if I were going to use these blueprints, I would take off these laser sights 1000% of the time. All right, now for the X13, which this is the one I'm really excited about. These attachments on this seem to be okay, but I'm probably going to build it my own way. I don't like this little SMG attachment. I kind of like it when it's actually a pistol. These builds are pretty solid overall. They're not amazing. There's definitely some changes I would make. Like, I'd take off that laser sight, but if you're just looking for pre-made weapons to slap on, go for it. They're not pro-tuned or anything, but they get the job done. Now let's test out these blueprints slash tracers slash effects here in DMZ. Bro, we're gonna get beamed right off rip. Okay. All right, I guess we'll test out the death effects first since these bots want some. So yep, the death effects are definitely working on bots here in DMZ with no issues. Holy crap, please get off of me. All right, well, now that we're almost lost, let's go ahead and play it up real quick. Let's test out the tracer effects, see if these are still working perfectly fine. Yep, we can grow flowers here in DMZ like it is absolutely nothing. Tracer effects also working. And with that, that's pretty much everything we needed to test. So the only thing that was really worthwhile in this bundle was the tracer effects and the impact effects. I wasn't too impressed with the death effect. I like the laser sight a lot. However, it's for a laser sight that I don't really use too often, so I'm not going to get any use out of it. And with this not having an operator scan and a finishing move, it just doesn't seem too worth the cost. I really did like the tracer effects, but that's not enough to make this bundle worth the purchase price. But let me guys know your opinions on it. If I had to rank this bundle overall, I'd probably give it a 3 out of 10. Cool tracers, but it's lacking in other departments. If you guys want to see any more bundle reviews like this, we'll review everything about new bundles. That way you know what you're getting before you buy it. Make sure to unlock the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.